Welcome back to Follow the Compass North. Today, as you can see, we'll be talking about the Smith & Wesson Airweight 38 Special Concealed Carry Revolver. Now, as we saw in yesterday's episode, survival comes down to three main pieces: health, protection, and sustenance. We're going to be talking more about protection here today, not only with backcountry, but also front country techniques. Now, this episode and this channel is not affiliated with Smith & Wesson or the Airweight series or NRA or any political activist groups. It's just a concealed carry that I have for personal use and for personal protection. I tend to like this model because of the ease of use, because of its reliability, the fact that it's got an internal hammer mechanism so that when you pull the trigger it's not getting caught in clothing. When you conceal carry, it doesn't get caught in anything as you pull it out. It's a nice, smooth, easy to use, simple firearm. Now, if you're in the front country, having a firearm is not the only way to defend yourself. You can be close to law enforcement. You can have camera systems. You can have neighborhood watch or good community. You can reinforce your house and your door locks. Make sure you lock up your cars at night. There's a lot of different ways that we can go about making sure that we're safe. I'm not advocating for the use of a weapon or the encouragement of a weapon. This should be used as a last resort in almost all scenarios. You see, we're completely clear here, ready to go, but the cylinder does not come out of the Airweight model until you remove this screw. So while this is a last resort, I'm still going to focus on being competent with it. I'm going to take the appropriate classes. I'm going to get my concealed carry. I already have, but if I was someone purchasing this, I'd be getting my concealed carry. I'd be going to some safety classes and courses, making sure I'm well educated on it. When this is not being used, it's stored in a safe that only I have access to, so that no one else is getting into a position where they can hurt themselves. I've pulled out that one screw. It locks into this V here, allowing you to remove the cylinder mechanism and the pivot point here on the cylinder itself. Now, this is already fairly clean, so I'm not going to be spending a lot of time brushing it up, but I like to separate these two and take care of them, make sure they're nice and clean, oiled up. This one hasn't been fired since the last time I cleaned it, but we're doing a courtesy check. Make sure it's good to go, that we spin freely here. You also have a release mechanism that allows you to eject your casings, make it a little easier to unload and to reload in a timely manner. Now, this could be useful in a backcountry setting where we are trying to defend ourselves from large game or other large animals, anything that could be coming into our area trying to steal our food or to harm us, which is not very common, but it is a consideration. This is primarily used, however, in the front country setting. I don't commonly carry when I'm out in the field or when I'm out doing survival, or if I'm hiking or enjoying myself out in the field. It's just something that I'd like to have on hand, more of a have it and hope you don't need it rather than not have it and wish you did type scenario. We're going to continue taking this apart. There's two screws here that hold onto this machined plate. It's very difficult to see where the line is. I've got a little bit of crud in there from taking it apart earlier today, so you can see that line fairly easily, hopefully. These two screws pop out pretty simply. I'm using a Leatherman squirt, again not affiliated with the channel, however a useful tool I have around. Pull it out of one of my old survival kits. It works fairly nicely for me. Now, I won't be going too deep into this weapon. I'm going to pull off these two screws and expose the firing mechanism, show you a little bit about how it works, lube, and then reassemble. Now, you got to pry this thing up. There's two areas I like to work on: here by the trigger well, because it's okay if you mark it up a little bit, or under here under the grip is even better, but there's some mechanisms in there that you want to avoid hitting, so be very careful opening this up. Once this plate is off, you could have an issue with these pieces coming out. You can take these all apart, scrub each one, and put them all back together, but I find a simple brushing of the mechanism, wiping it off, and then using an eye droplet of gun oil to make sure we hit some of these moving parts here. I don't want to go crazy on this because the oil would leak out continuously over the next few months, but I do want to hit them up a little bit. I notice that oil can tend to grab more carbon as you fire as well and build up more gunk. I want to do just enough to do a light covering on it. Now this won't fire, won't pull the trigger back if you don't have the cylinder installed. There's a little safety mechanism here. I'm going to push that back so you can see. The hammer pulls back. Oops, excuse me. And it's left-handed, a little awkward for me. This hammer pulls back here, a little fast. Here's your hammer mechanism. Here's your firing pin up top. Once it gets all the way back, you have a nice clean fire. Now dry firing the Airweight is not going to damage it. However, I am careful to make sure none of this is coming up since the plate is off. But it's something I'm comfortable doing with this model of handgun. Put the plate back on. Now that we're oiled, you have a lip up here. Make sure you throw that in first, then snaps down. It should be fairly simple. There's only 4 screws on this thing when you're taking it down this far. Very easy to put back together. They won't thread into each other, so you can't cross thread or have any issues there. Should be fairly self-explanatory. In future episodes, we're going to be talking about other forms of protection. Protection in survival typically refers to 98.6, maintaining that body temperature. So that'll be more of your clothing, shelter, fire, more wood skills based instruction, and the stuff I do enjoy. Since I was cleaning this here today, I thought it might as well make sense to go over it with you, make sure that get a nice little video out of it, and hopefully help anybody out there who has this model, has difficulty disassembling or reassembling due to this this little screw or this pin here with the cylinder. I'm going to make sure that I have my grip lined up nice and tight. There's a pin here that needs to be lined up here and a pin on the bottom that needs to be lined up here. Should be fairly obvious once you get it snapped in. The seam along this side and tight along the back. The screw that goes in the other side, single screw. I tend not to tighten these down too far. I'd hate to strip a screw out in a weapon like this and have to get a new screw and insert, new set of grips, or take it to a gunsmith to get repaired. So I'm going to take my time here, make sure I do it properly, nice and snug, and good to go. Here we have our pin that inserts here. Now it won't go in unless you lift up a little bit all the way to the back. I like to snap this completely into position so I know that's all lined up. This is your release to release the cylinder on the side. And you'll notice on this weapon there is no safety. Since it's a double action trigger pull instead of a single action, which means you cannot cock the hammer back and then release it. That's a double or a single action. Double action. This one here, you have your full pull through, single fire per single trigger pull. There we go. I'm going to place in this last screw here. Make sure it's down nice and snug. And then ops check the weapon before putting it away. Almost scored it up a little bit there. Now, I'm a strong believer that a weapon is a tool, and tools get used. So if I get a scratch here or there, I've got one down here on the trigger well I noticed, I'm not too concerned. These aren't show pieces for me. They're to be used in survival situations and life and death and last resort situations especially. I'm going to check, make sure everything works smoothly. Place in. You'll see the mechanism here for releasing empty casings or to unload. Works very nicely. And then of course you've got your full trigger pull there. Seems to be working perfectly. Again, I'm not affiliated with Airweight or with Leatherman or any of the products that you see on this channel. This is just a run through of some of the equipment that I use in order to maintain my survival through protection, sustenance, and health. In this case, maximizing my protection so that I can maintain my health. If you enjoyed what you liked here, feel free to share, like, or subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.